First of all, apologies for filming this in our workshop because the cabinet's erected here. It's easier just to show it in situ in the workshop rather than take it into the studio. The LED lights and the cabinets are selling really well, but it's been brought to my attention. I haven't really gone into much detail about the cabinets. There's not a lot to say except they're very high quality German anodised aluminium profile, so it's all very much precision engineering. The size of the cabinet is 700 millimeters wide and 900 millimeters tall, and then 175 millimeters deep. So these shelves are 5 inches across, and they're currently spaced at around 5.5 inches between each shelf. But this, as you can see with the bottom one here, I've removed the bottom shelf so I can get some larger objects in the bottom. The other thing is they come preset at these 5.5 inch distances, but these are all movable, so you could actually move this up a little bit and make your top shelf, if you wanted to, slightly less deep according to what you want, or take a shelf out altogether. But they come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, and when they're sold without lighting, so you basically can fit whatever lighting you want. I mean, obviously we'd like to sell the LED lighting, but you could, if you wanted to, just fit some of your own lighting at the top and just have it shining down into the cabinet, like I used to with my ordinary tungsten halogen lights. Now, features of the cabinet are, it has a secure lock, which means collector's items can be locked up safely, and also around the edge you can see it has a rubber seal on 3 sides. The hinge, there is in fact a slight gap, but with the seals around the 3 sides, there's obviously a better chance of keeping the cabinet fairly dust-free as compared to, you know, with the standard sort of IKEA cabinet that people are buying popularly. Moving on now, because this is my demo one, I have used the coarser wiring, and I've just slid it out the front door. Well, I mean, you wouldn't do that if it was a permanent installation. One would normally drill a small hole through the corner and have your feed up through there. The other thing is, I mean, I have just put these connected independently, so when I move away from the show I can just remove the strips and the wiring all comes off. Now, if I was doing this as a permanent installation, I would do this in parallel, so the 12 volt power supply would come up as one cable, then off one level, then off at the second, and off at the third. The backing to these cabinets is a heavy duty, I think it's like an ABS plastic, or it's very, very, very tough plastic, and we use a neutral grey so that the colours of the objects displayed come out really well. But again, this can be easily drilled through if you wanted to put a supply in through the top left hand corner here, or the bottom, with your supply coming in from the back. What else can I say? I do supply two types of wiring. This is the what we'd call the speaker wiring, which a lot of people seem to prefer, because using small plastic clips that I can supply, this can all be nicely tagged back onto the glass. But I do supply a very, very fine 12 volt red and black cable, which some people prefer as well. And this you could hide in some trunking that we can supply up the side. I think that's all I have to say, really. When they're mounted on the wall, they come with an aluminium L section, so they rest and screwed onto an L-shape section of aluminium onto the wall, and then likewise at the top of the cabinet, there's two smaller retaining aluminium profiles that enable the top of the cabinet to be screwed to the wall. I think that's all I can say at the moment. I've used this camera, which is a Japanese retro camera, so the colours are slightly like 1970s, but I've done this really as an experiment because I just think it looks so cool. We send the cabinets all over the UK, and currently there's an order for Southern Ireland. They're normally picked up from the shows, the mineral shows that I do, but they can be delivered at a small at a cost, or sent by carriers. But of course, because they're toughened glass, they're not totally proofed against damage. So we do prefer them either to be collected from mineral shows, or they can be collected by prior arrangement from Bristol on a certain day. So that's about it, I think. I've just checked the film out, the video clip, and found there's a couple of, errors that I really should correct. First of all, these shelves here are in fact 5.5 inches in depth, and also I said there were just 5 shelves. Well, there are 5 shelves, but there's also there's 5 glass shelves, but at the bottom, of course, you've got the base shelf, which isn't glass, so you do have six shelves. The other thing I should explain, this the backing to the shelf, I just described it as grey plastic. In fact, it's a high pressure Italian, very high quality Formica type laminate, which would really explain it far better than just saying it's a sheet of grey plastic. While I'm at it, what I thought I'd do is show you the different types of cable that we use. Let's just put them down here. This obviously is the speaker cable, which you can see flows very nicely. The finer ones are these ones here, which you can see they're a lot thinner, way more thinner. But of course they're quite a lot harder to just flow on their own. That's why they would normally be put into some form of trunking. There is one other system that we do use very occasionally. It costs a little bit more, but it's way neater system. It's a system called glue tracks, and basically it's a bit like a little railway line of metal with a plastic surround, and the plastic surround you can chop in various intervals and insert this connector. So you can imagine if this is running up the side of the cabinet, one is able to just stick it to the glass and then run off at different levels your power supply. So it is probably the neatest method, but it does cost a little bit more, and we found that a lot of people, although they think this is a great piece of kit, they're not too worried, because by the time you've just tucked your cables at the side of the cabinet, it looks neat enough anyway. So I think that corrects or explains a little bit further some of the things I missed out on my initial clip, which I've now added.